If you've ever been to one of my...
Hold on. We need to say.
Hi, my name is Chris.
And I'm Linda.
If you've ever been to any of my talks, it's possible you've heard me say this phrase, I serve a God of new beginnings. And then I usually have you say, I serve a God of new beginnings. I love that. It's really become a big part of my life, this idea of starting over. That God is all about new beginnings, that He is all about starting over. If you feel like you're on the wrong path, it's okay to start over and get on the right path. I think what happens a lot of times, especially if you're at all like me, it's this idea that, well, I'm in a rut. I've already made some mistakes. I might as well Thelma and Louise myself and just throw myself off a cliff. It's really this idea of even, Peter sinking in the water, and he does what so many of us don't do. He cries out, Lord, save me. And most of us resign ourselves to the fact that, well, we've already made mistakes. We took our eyes off of Christ. We're sinking. We might as well just drown. But Jesus is waiting. And you can ask yourself, why is He waiting? Because people get resentful when they feel like others kind of superimpose their will in your life. And God gives us a lot of freedom. Freedom to say, I'm sorry. Freedom to say, I need help. Freedom to say, can you let me start over?
It's never too late to start over. I think that's such an encouraging thing, that it applies to so many areas of our life, not just spiritually, but it applies to our health. It's never too late to start over. I don't care if you're 80 years old and you're thinking maybe you should start trying to be healthy. It's never too late to start over. With your job, with your career, in relationships, it's never too late to start over. It's worth the effort. Now, will these things be the same as if you didn't need to start over, or will they recover perfectly? Will you at 80 become perfectly healthy like you were at 30? No, but it's worth the effort. So we serve a God of new beginnings. New beginnings are, they don't have to be perfect, but they're better. They are better than where you were. So just because you think, well, it's too late for me, I'll never be really healthy, I'll never be really rich, why should I start saving money or investing now? Or that relationship will never be what it used to be, why should I give it the effort? That it's okay, that even though it's a new beginning, it's not perfect, it's okay. It's never too late.
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people don't know this, but I used to smoke a little bit. And by a little bit, it wasn't like 2 packs a day. The thing about it is that in my mind, I had a hard time imagining how I could enjoy certain things without smoking. I hesitate to say this story because I don't even know if my parents knew that. But I'm a grown man, so at this point, it's okay.
Oh, wow.
The funny thing is that I had so many great conversations with people while I was smoking. I would talk about music, talk about deep theological things, but I always knew in my brain I shouldn't smoke because physically it wasn't good for me, and I had a heart condition, and that would be dumb to add that to the mix. And so Linda on a regular basis would say, you need to stop this, start over. Like in my mind, I thought it would be good to stop, but I like it. I don't think I can. It's hard, right? It's hard to start over sometimes. And I remember looking at the chart, like what would happen, like how long would it take for your body to recover if you stopped? And I had just finished an event in Vancouver, Canada, with the famous Clay. And I remember that was the last time I believe that I had smoked a cigarette. This was forever ago. And when I got home, I had really just made this commitment, but it was so hard. I would dream about smoking. I would stand next to people and just pray I could get their secondhand smoke. And it's been maybe 7 years, something like that. It's been a long time. And what was kind of cool is I remember looking at that chart, and it basically said that after a certain amount of time, it would be almost as if you had never smoked. And certainly psychologically, mentally, it would change also. I think that's the way it is sometimes with new beginnings. New beginnings can sometimes be a process, can take a long time, but the ramifications of making that kind of a choice can have eternal consequences. And I really feel like I set myself up for success by saying no to that vice and allowing the virtue of a new beginning to take hold.
You know what you said makes me think of that illustration. I don't know if you've heard it. A long time ago I heard, how do you move a semi-truck? Like if you have a semi-truck moving in one direction and you want it to face the other direction, you can't it has to be moving in order to change direction. A large vehicle has to actually be moving to change. So it's going to be a slow progression to move something that big into the opposite direction, but it has to be moving. And so it's never too late to start over. You got to start moving. And even though it may take a long time for that progression to actually show up as being, wow, I've done it, I've started over. But you got to start moving. You got to start heading in that direction.
I think that's a good word to hold on to. That starting over, you can start over 1,000,000 times a day. You can start over and know that starting over is going to take many, many years. I think it's partly a mindset. So what is it that you want to change? Like, where do you want to change? What is it that you want to do? If you want to start over and quit a particular vice, then give yourself permission to start over and know it's not going to be easy. I think that's the virtue behind that phrase, one day at a time, for any addiction program, is that you gotta basically realize is that I'm gonna start over every single day so that I can keep the momentum going on this new path. What do you want? Like, I think that's part of what this comes down to. What do you want in your life? If you want a new beginning, I think that God gives you the freedom to start over. And it can be virtues too. I wanna read the Bible every day. I wanna say something nice to someone every day. I wanna use social media to build people up instead of tear people down. I mean, we need people to start over on a regular basis for this world to be better.
Amen.
Amen. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Mom. I'm doing better now. It's good. It's okay. It's okay.